The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wimble speaking, and I'm joined, as per usual, by my colleague Peter Johnson. And welcome to our Workbooks 101 this morning, where we're going to cover the Workbooks integration with Exchange, Workbooks Exchange Server Sync, to give it its formal name, an add-on option to your Workbooks subscription. It is sometimes commonly known as WESS, short for obviously Workbooks Exchange Server Sync. So we want to go through this morning and just give you a little bit of heads up on what it is and what it does. So this presentation will be about 10 minutes or so in duration, just an overview really of this capability, not meant to be in-depth instruction on its implementation. But my company, Wizard Systems, we offer lots of guidance and help and training around workbooks and all of the add-on options and extensions that you've got there. So please contact us for more information on that. Now, the audio part of the presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, and we'll do our best to answer those at the end. Probably best to type them in as you think of them rather than wait to the very last point. And this call has been recorded. After the presentation, you will get an email from our system with a link to recording, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. As we normally do, I know a lot of people watching live are familiar with who we are, what we do, but just in case there's any new people on this call or you're watching a recording. So we are Wizard Systems. We're based in the UK. We're an independent CRM system supplier. Workbooks is one of the key systems we supply. We do supply other CRM solutions. We've been doing this a long time. We offer complete implementation services around Workbooks. So if you need any help in training, getting it set up, any advice, we're here to help you. Obviously, that's online right now. This presentation is July 2020, so we're just kind of sort of coming out of lockdown in the UK. And we also offer a permanently manned help desk service to answer your questions. So now let me hand over to my colleague, Peter, who will take us through WESS.
Okay, good morning, Tim. Good morning to everybody. I'm just going to share my screen. So I've got the same slide as you there, Tim, I think. So yep. Let me just, I'm going to dive straight into Outlook. So just confirm that you can see my screen and hear me.
Yeah, looking good, Pete.
Great, thank you. So good morning to everybody that's listening today. So the idea of this, as Tim mentioned, we're going to have a look at the Exchange integration, the one that comes with a hosted Exchange server or Office 365, commonly known as the WESS. I call it WESS. I think you call it WESS, Tim, and I've heard different versions of that. So my terminology is generally the WESS. So with the WESS, it's a link between Workbooks and the Exchange server, which gives access to your Outlook details, and it synchronizes contacts, calendars, activities, and also the ability to push emails backwards and forwards. Now, with the standard implementation, we're going to have a look at the categorize, and it really is simple. If you've got a contact or an appointment, meeting, that type of thing within Outlook, you can simply go and categorize it and mark it as a category for Workbooks. That way, when they sync, and it syncs around about every 30 minutes, that meeting, activity, contact, and so forth, a lead, will synchronize into your Workbooks account. The other way, it comes back from Workbooks. It syncs both ways. Anything in My People my leads or indeed my activities, they will synchronize with Outlook. So you'll see that backwards and forwards. And that's the standard functionality of the WESS when it's set up and deployed via your, generally it's done by your 365 administrator. There's some settings that you put within Workbooks. It's fairly straightforward within preferences and link it to. Today is the little Outlook add-in that comes with WESS and gives you the ability to be a bit more granular with the way that you add and synchronize emails. So again, this is deployed by your system administrator for Office 365. I think you can do it individually, but to be honest, it's so simple for your administrator to deploy an add-in at the admin level of 365. And what that does is give you the ability that when you're in the email area, and you can see I've got a few emails here, I can click through and see those details. What that deployment does is give you the ability on the view of this Workbooks button within the ribbon. And when I'm in a particular email, I can open this up, and when I'm in the email inbox in this example, you can see this is connecting to your Workbooks account. Now, what we have here is I've got a particular email selected here. I sent these out so I could show this as an example. What this has done over on the right-hand side here, if I've picked an email where the contact, or the email address I should say, exists within Workbooks, it will show the details of that contact. So I've got this email here from Peter, and it shows me the name of the contact of the person, in this case the employer, and a few other bits and bobs you can see in here. You can extend what you can see here within Outlook by choosing this details button at the bottom. If I extend that, you can see, although it's a cut down version of what you get within Workbooks, you can see a bit more detail if you need it, maybe the phone number if you're dialing, that type of thing. You can also edit the record from here. So if in this example Peter hasn't got a title, but I can click on this little pencil icon and I get my normal, let me just move that a little bit, I just got my 2 seconds. Okay, so I get my normal drop down here, and I can add that information to my Workbooks record. Now you can see it's orange here, and that's because it hasn't yet saved back to Workbooks, but in normal Workbook style, you can choose the save option, and you can see I've just updated the record now that's back in Workbooks. So really easy to see that detail and extend that information by populating this details. You can also see other information that's related to that record. So there's an opportunity here, there are some cases and so forth, and you can click these to open them. You can in fact browse very quickly to the record that it's found. In the top right corner here, you can see I've got this will give you straight from Office. You can go to the Facebook search or a LinkedIn search for the details that you have here. And also here, if I were to click this, it would open up Workbooks and navigate. Well, in fact, if I do it here, you can see, oh, I'm on the help screen. You can see here it's found the Peter record, which now has the title in, of course, because we've just added that, and you can see there in Workbooks you get that information show. So it's quite interactive, this panel, but what it also does is give you the ability to select the email and say, well, actually I want to link this email to the record and see it in Workbooks on the email tab, and you can see here it says link item. So when I click that, you can see it's now linked, and I can unlink it if possible, if I wish. The button just changes its text there, so fairly obvious of what that's doing. You can also take the option to link it to any other record in the system. It might be one of these other records, and when you open it, you can link those. Or you can do a normal search. So if you know the name of the item that you're searching, any of the objects within Workbooks, or the object reference. That's the unique ID against each record. I know I've got an opportunity, for example. So if I go op-28 and do my normal search, if I press enter here, you can see it's found that opportunity within Workbooks, and I can say, well, actually, I also want this email to be linked to that record as well. So again, under the email tab of opportunity, this one, it will show that email again. And again, you can see the details of that record and update it if required. So really easy to use. This little panel on the right hand side to go and find the details that you want. If you happen to have an email come into Outlook that doesn't exist within Workbooks, so let's just take this one. You can see here. Now you can see, because I've changed email, that panel's disappeared. So it's a good idea, if you're going to use this on a regular basis, is to click it and choose this little pin icon in the top right. This is a familiar kind of looking pin that you get in Workbooks, and it means that little panel there will stay within your Outlook environment. But you can see I've selected this email and it hasn't found the details within Workbooks. It tells you no record found. So at this point, if you wanted to, you could click one of these two buttons down the bottom to add it as a person record, or add it as a sales lead record. So it finds it instantly and then pops that detail, and at least you have a starting position to fill in and maybe follow up that lead in a bit more detail. You also get the ability to use this panel when sending an email. So if I were to click over here and choose new email, you can see I have the option of the Workbooks panel here. In the same way, I might pin it, so every time I choose to send an email within Outlook, it's got that panel available. And if I type in here, let's send this to Peter, you can see again it's found this record. So this email that I'm sending from me, I want to link it to a record within Workbooks. You can also, of course, find those other things. So if I go back to op28 in the search screen here, I can also link this outgoing email to that opportunity record as well. And you can see it's actually building up this, those familiar with the Dropbox facility, it's building up the Dropbox, so you'll see it within Workbooks and it'll find those records and link it to them in the normal way. So if I were to send that, I'll just send it now, that will then show against that record in Workbooks in the email tab in the normal way. So it really gives you the ability to have some linking between Workbooks and Outlook in a controlled way. This little add-in, so this is a WESS add-in for the Outlook, and as I say, it gets deployed out by your system administrator. So I think I've shown that. It's quite a quick, simple tool, but some of you I know online have not seen this before, and you may be using other methods. If you've got Office 365, you might be using some other method in here. One of the useful bits, because it's Office 365, you get this panel and this ability to do this within the Outlook for Mac and Outlook Mobile. If you're using those, this is deployed to those applications as well. Okay, Tim, have you got anything to add to that? Any questions come in yet from anybody?
Yeah, just before I get to the question, so to summarize the benefits of this, if you're using Exchange and 365, you're entering information once. So you're going to save time. You're going to improve the accuracy of data back in your CRM system. People are living in Outlook. You're feeding Workbooks with that information. You're improving the accuracy. It's automatically transferring the data. No need to do any copying and pasting or any of that. Very, very simple. And bi-directional. You enter information in one application and it will automatically appear in the other one and changes as well. So we've seen there are examples of that integration, the ability to link a wide range of information into the Workbooks CRM system, visibility of workbooks while you're in Outlook. No need to alt-tab or waste time. You can see critical information within the Outlook interface. And it's really easy to use. So certainly if you're using Exchange, we found it's a really popular add-on to the core Workbooks subscription that we can provide for you. Right, so questions. Okay, first question from Monica. How do I get this feature? Question mark.
Okay, it's probably one for you, Tim.
Yeah, so quite simple. So we assume you've got Workbooks already. It's an extension to it. There is an add-on price to this. It's an extra. Well, currently, you look at the workbooks.com price rather than give out pricing on this, just in case pricing is changing to the actual time you view this on YouTube. If you just go to the workbooks.com platform, you'll be able to see a pricing tab there. This is the current pricing as of July. So this is an extension to your Workbooks account. And as that little section will allude to there, if you've got 5 users of Workbooks, you don't need to furnish them all with the Workbooks Exchange Server Sync. Maybe just only 2 people, for example, might want to use that. So yeah, entirely up to you. How many users would have that capability? In practice, it would probably be all of them, but it's an extension. We can give you a quotation for that, Monica. Next question from Calvin. I have WESS, but don't see the button in Outlook you have just shown. How do I get it?
Okay, yes. So as I mentioned before, it's generally deployed through the through Office 365 Admin Center. There is some instructions. You just point it towards. So down here, it's got. Oh, here we go. The WESS in, add-in, and introduction, enabling it. So there's some really useful instructions on here. Of course, with your general kind of admin credits and support, we can help with this if required, but it really is straightforward for your admin person of 365 to deploy this to everybody. And once done, follow those instructions through. It's then available within Outlook on that little button that I showed you earlier. So on the ribbon, you get this little Workbooks option, and then you can use this. There's also the ability to share it with certain users and not others. So in the Admin Center, you can find that. It's pretty straightforward. I imagine your 365 administrator is fairly used to adding those. A previous video we did where we deployed the Word add-in as well, and it shows in a similar kind of panel within Microsoft Word in Office 365.
Okay, don't think there's any more questions coming through. If any late questions come through, we'll answer those separately via email. So that's it. That's us done for this week's session on Workbooks. Thanks very much for those of you attending live, or if you're listening to a recording of this. We'd love to hear from you if you've got any ideas. If you're a Workbooks user or a potential Workbooks user and you want to suggest a future topic for our weekly little mini training sessions, please email us tim@wizard-systems.com or peter@wizard-systems.com. We'll be online again, same time next week. If you want to see any previous presentations, little workbooks training videos that we've done, please go to our YouTube channel, which is Wizard Systems, and you'll see a workbooks playlist up there if you want to browse through all the workbooks videos that we've done in the past. But thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch up with you same time next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.